Hello everyone and welcome to the Context Needed podcast. I'm Kyle. I am joined with a tired, hungry, trashy, angry for still not having his Chinese, Ryan.
Baby!
And as you can see, Ollie is too busy fighting the powers of evil with the power of friendship and the gun he found. So he's not with us today, so we've just got a picture of him. This is a verified picture of Ollie. He sent it to us himself.
Identification card has it on as well.
Yep, that's
You
literally
can't argue with it.
That's literally his passport photo. On the note, just briefly actually, on the notes of passport photos, do you want to see my old passport photo? Seeing as I've got my old one right here because I had to get the new one.
If you got just the photo, or are you just gonna whack up that old passport like, hey baby, look at all my details.
I'm gonna cover up I can see all the details. Ready?
Go on.
Look at that fucking mongoloid.
I'm getting the word.
I look like a fucking idiot. I swear I got I can't even remember how that picture happened. I think it was literally
well, usually in a photo booth.
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. That was one of those ones where it was back before the photo booths would do it. Why is my camera not focusing? Come on, camera.
Oh, so what we're saying is you're that old.
All right, Mr. Middle fucking class.
Whoa, don't at me like that with your portfolio.
My portfolio.
What we also want to question is the fact that Jay's just sent me a picture of her passport photo from when she was a child, and it is slightly scary.
Is she okay with it being shown live?
I don't
on the
know.
Podcast?
We'll see if she says anything in the chat. It's up to her.
Well, yeah. So we kind of wanted to have just a more relaxed conversation today because it seems that things are being relaxed in regards to the lockdown kind of bullshit and social distancing kind of bullshit. So
yeah, I'm going to be munching on a lot of food because it's still not here.
Yes, Ryan's waiting for his Chinese still. I had my pizza earlier, but we wanted to talk about kind of places we're happy we're going to be able to go back to, seeing as shit's opening up again. But Jay has just said, hit the baby photo. Is
that show the baby photo, or am I just meant to hitting my phone?
I'm guessing it's show the baby photo.
You know what makes it better? Is I don't know what it is about the vibe of the passport, because I've actually seen it. It's an old Polish one, but it just gives off
communism
old school
vibes.
European. Well, let's not talk about communism in the Polish because they don't like the communists. Okay, but this is
Jesus Christ.
It's two of them.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
Not much
God,
difference
the eyes. It's how large the pupils are and how diluted they are.
I think that's just kids in general. All kids have that evil vibe to them. I mean, there's a reason why movies like The Omen work. Because
Jay, quick question. I never asked this. Is this a baby photo, or are you a child? Because I never really questioned it, seeing as you're bold.
Nah, her parents just wanted to keep shaving her. It was easier to deal with.
Old Polish haircuts. Just a number one all over. Everybody. Why are all the kids bald in this classroom?
Easier.
Old Polish tradition.
Honestly, I constantly look like a bush baby, apparently.
Yeah, she does look like a crackhead, honestly. She was sending me pictures when she was in hospital and she looked fucking smacked off her tits at all points. Even though she wasn't always on drugs.
Well, let's move on to the conversation now, because I know you've just come back from doing something that you've been waiting over a fucking year to do.
To do it. Oh, excuse me. I am very tired from today.
Do you want to repeat that?
We were able to do it partway through the year last year, but I never went. I was just never got around to it. I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because we were just locked down. I was like, well, I'm not really fussed about going and doing it while we're restricted in such a high manner.
You keep saying it. What is it?
You'll never know.
It's dogging. Social distancing measures kind of stopped him from going dogging.
You joke about that. You joke about that. We were. It was airsoft. It was airsoft I went to, but we were sat there, and I said, "Oh," one of the guys goes, "Can I not shoot him?" I said, "I'm already dead." And there was a marshal next to me, and I said, "You can we give me a kiss? You know, socially distanced, mind." He goes. One of the marshal goes, "As long as you're not spooning." I said, "Jesus Christ, is he really that long? Would he be able to reach me, socially distant spooning?"
So,
but yeah.
because like I said, I've never been airsoft. I've always kind of wanted to go, but also it's too fucking expensive for me to pick up another hobby. Bad. Well, no, it's
not that bad.
It is.
It's like, when
you've got as much shit that you do as me, and
well,
then
maybe if you focused on your portfolio a little more, sir, you'd be able to go.
I'm not rich on my portfolio yet. My cryptocurrency days.
I smell pennies.
I still need to add to the stream that people can tip me in Dogecoin and stuff if they want to. I need to add that into the
spicy. Good idea.
The details, because I'm happy to be tipped in crypto.
Yeah. So it's airsoft is not expensive in comparison to other active sports in the same field, such as paintball. Mainly paintball.
I think
paintball is where you're really going to get robbed, especially if you start doing that as a hobby.
Yeah, I think I did paintball and I thought it was shit personally, because the thing is,
it's just team deathmatch most of the time, or capture the flag at most.
We did do some. I mean, the thing is, the guy who marshalled us was all right. The people I was with were fine, apart from they were cheating. People were blatantly cheating, which is just annoying. It's the cost. It's honestly it's extortionate, because
paintball's fucking mega.
You pay £5 and you get 5 games. It's like, yeah, but you give us literally a handful of paintballs, and you go through easily. If you
pay a few hundred quid.
Yeah,
you'll pay a few hundred quid.
Well, I think I did pay. I had to pay to actually play all the games, because you're using it on average 100 paintballs a game if you are active in that game. I think I paid 100 to 150 quid for some guy's stag do, and don't get me wrong, it was fun playing games with those guys, but I'm not going to paintball again because of just how much extortion it is, because you can't take your own paintballs. They don't let you take
I knew a guy who played paintball. He messaged me after, because it was just out of school. Me and my mate were playing airsoft. He messaged me and goes, "Is it decent? Is it worth getting into airsoft?" I said, "Well, seeing as I can pay 13 quid and get 3,000 rounds, and you can pay 13 quid and get about fucking 50, I think we'll go off that, really." If you get what I mean. It's as simple as that. It's still an expensive hobby, because you'll get hooked on buying guns, you'll get hooked on buying all the gear, and it's not cheap shit. You don't want to be buying cheap shit to be playing airsoft.
That's the issue I got. It's the cost of the guns and everything like that. I just don't have that spare money when everything else.
Once you got a decent gun, you could buy a decent gun for 120 quid, 120, 150 quid. Not much. But it's a good gun, a good starter gun as such. Once you get into it, you will go, and you'll go, "Oh, I've seen this gun, I want to get this one, you want to get that one." I've got my Crytek and other stuff like that. But it's definitely worth getting into that rather than getting into paintball, because you'll be doing the same amount of cost. You probably pay more for paintball guns because they're a HPA system, which is gas. Yeah. So it's high-powered air. Or high pressure air, one of the two. And then you paintball. It's paintballs mainly.
It's the paintballs.
The reason why
the reason why paintballs are so expensive is because sites don't let you take your own. That's why, and
there's a lot of sites which do these bio ones now, which are a lot more expensive as well.
Well, the thing is, it's not just that; they also uprate the price, because I think when we went. It's a couple of years ago now, because this was before I got married when we went for this stag do.
More than a couple of years then.
Yeah, 3 years, because we've been married 3 years.
Mm.
So it was we saw them pulling the box out, so we quickly took a picture of the box to figure out the make and everything of these paintballs, and the box itself was the cost that they were selling one of the bags for, and the box had something like 10 bags in it, so they were doing literally like 1,000% up rate in profit margin. And then obviously you weren't allowed to take your own, so it's like you literally had to do that up rate.
That's the type of shit game that they're like. Don't get me wrong, it's probably so much cheaper to make BBs though as well, and they probably up that. But it's just the ratios of it. So I'll
The
pay
thing is, it's like I
12
don't mind.
quid.
I don't mind paying for the ammunition, because at the end of the day, like you said, there is manufacturing costs. But the thing that's annoying is how much they charge you for something that doesn't cost that much. That's what pissed me off. I understand I have to pay to play. At the end of the day, that's the way it works. But if you aren't letting us bring our own paintballs on, don't charge me 1,000% up rate in cost to actually play because you want me to pay your paintballs.
They'd probably sell more paintballs if they didn't do that. That's the thing. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then they've got their snacks and stuff, because when we used to play airsoft on the paintball site in Derbyshire, their prices were like double the prices for a chocolate bar than it would be anywhere else.
Yeah.
You pay £1 somewhere normally, and they're like, "Oh yeah, £2." I'm like, what?
Yes, because you can't get anywhere else.
And this is the same with like cinemas and stuff. They'll charge you like their sweets and stuff are like double the price, and then they go, "Why is nobody buying our sweets?"
They're more than double.
Well, yeah, more than double. But you sit there and you go, "I fucking wonder why no one's coming in buying your sweets." Maybe it's because they're more than double, triple, whatever. They're just not.
We was talking about
price.
We was talking about it previously, and Thomas has also brought the thing like people always sneak them in. It's like, you literally don't even have to sneak them in. They can't stop you taking them in. There's nothing in your price of admission or terms and services of paying for your entry to the cinema for them to stop you taking them in. I think I literally got to the point where I didn't have a bag, didn't have big pockets. I walked in with a fucking Tesco bag with some drinks and sweets, and they kind of looked at me as if they was going to say something, and I just looked at them and just like, no.
I don't want to put a down on the flow. Well, my food is here, so I need to go and grab it.
Okay. You just go.
But a moment. We're going to turn this into a mukbang.
No, we're not turning this into a mukbang. You're not slurping into the fucking microphone. Stop. Fucking stop.
Mukbang!
Well, it's honestly ridiculous how loads of people, like, I'll just talk to you guys in the chat. Like, it's ridiculous how there's so many people that will try and sneak shit in. It's like, just fucking walk in. They can't do anything to stop you, because, like, what are they going to do? Tell you to throw it away? There's no recourse they have for why they have to stop you. It's just because they want you to pay for their shit. That's literally all it is. Seeing as Ryan's also gone, let me just see what's been going off in the chat. I know we usually don't deal with the chat that much on these podcasts, but let's have a look at what's going off. So Thomas is asking about what's better, airsoft or paintball. I've done paintball, not airsoft, but it's most likely airsoft because it seems much more cooler with the different variety in guns to me anyway. Jay's talking about Unidet. Yep, that's fine. It all fucks off after a while. Yeah, Ollie gets to Jay. Ollie gets to do the real shooting, so hopefully we'll be able to go do real shooting soon. I've only done shotgun shooting, so I definitely would love to do that again. You always sneak sweets in. I've sneaked a pizza in there before. Nice. I think I snuck a KFC in once, which was fun. I actually did sneak that in because that was back when I thought that you weren't allowed to take food in. I took, I think, like a boneless banquet into the cinema with me. That was funny. Tom saying it's impressive. Jay saying 3-course meals next time. Fair enough. Used to work in the cinema. Yeah, Becky used to work in the cinema and she fucking hated it. She always complains about it every time she can because of how shitty it was working in one. And I think actually me, Ryan, and a few of our friends have actually booked to go to the cinema because it's been, well, there's what was it? Demon Slayer. That's what we're going to see. There's the movie for Demon Slayer is on showing for us, not next Friday, but the Friday after. So we're going to be going to seeing that. So this just in, that Friday there's going to be no stream because I'll be busy watching a movie kind of thing. Oh yeah, people always leave shit everywhere after the cinemas as well. That's I'm kind of a culprit. I used to be a culprit, a massive culprit. I was terrible at leaving shit, but now I've gotten to the point where it's like, no, like, I'm not leaving that shit around. I usually finish whatever I'm eating anyway, and then I'll take it with me, or at least carry it down to the person at the doorway with a bag and put it in that bin, just so that way then they're not cleaning up after me. I mean, I've seen some right messes in cinemas. I think me and Becky went to watch Dark Knight Rises once, and there was the entire 2 back rows was just full of school kids that were just throwing shit at people until eventually the manager came and kicked them all out. That was fucking hilarious because everyone clapped for the managers for finally kicking them out, but a load of the school kids started bowing thinking they were the ones getting the claps. It's just like, no, you're fucking wrong. Never been to a showcase, Thomas. Well, the nearest, the best cinemas around me are all showcase cinemas because they all have like reclining leather seats, so they're usually the better ones. Oh god, he's back. He's back with all of his fucking food. No, showcase is around the UK as well, Becky. From what I've seen, they've got them pretty much up and down. And you're making everyone hungry in the chat.
Excuse me.
No, fucking no. Fucking no. So I'll mute you. I'll fucking mute you.
Oh, mate.
Are you happy now? Are you gonna stop being a diva about your food now?
I've got Singapore noodles, rice, sweet and sour chicken, beef chop suey, another piece of prawn rice.
Porn
bread.
rice?
No,
You said
prawn.
porn.
I said
You got porn on the mind there, dude.
Prawn on the mind, bro.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always horny.
I'm always horny. I'm hungry.
Well, seeing as you're stuffing your gob, and you've talked about how you can finally go back to airsoft, the thing I'm most fucking glad that I can finally go and do is Tuesday, my kickboxing classes start up again. So I can finally go back to actually doing my combat training and trying to get healthy and getting rid of some of this absolute disgusting bingo wing fat and belly fat and thunderfly fat.
That was all of us at airsoft. I tucked in my shirt this morning. I was like, that is not the type of overhang you want to be having at 24.
Well, it's like I've obviously got I've got actual like fight shorts that you can use for like fighting. I am not going to be wearing those for training, and I'm not going to be putting my cup on for training either until I've done at least a few weeks to try and lower my waistline down just a little bit before
just a touch, just a tad,
because they have to be like tight. Like I've got one pair which are just like a loose short, but they have to be tight around the waist because obviously they're for combat. And then I've got another pair which are called, I can't remember what the type of short they're called, but they're literally like skin tight. And they're the ones
crayons,
pretty much. But they're the ones I wore for the actual fight, and I prefer using those when I'm training because, as Ned Flanders says, feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. But they're really comfortable to like train and do combat in because of how you don't notice them at all. But it'll be interesting because I know for a fact I'm going to be 100% well and truly fucked after training on Tuesday. Like I'll get back and I'll probably pass out on the sofa for about 20 minutes before having a shower.
I think that's the thing about us. Is a lot of the stuff we've missed out on is physical exercise, and I think that's the big things like gym, your training, fighting, airsoft, stuff like that. It's all physical and and we've just been sat here being lard asses. So let's not pretend we've not been just sitting here
Oh,
being lard asses, playing games and eating nice food.
I've been trying to do stuff with obviously my If I Die I Work Out streams and stuff like that, but obviously that's still nothing compared to going and doing an hour and a half of solid kickboxing training or 2 hours of jiu-jitsu training, or I mean when I actually do start the fight training, it's going to literally be I'll do, I think it's an hour and a half of kickboxing, and then literally as soon as that stops, it's then 2 hours of mixed martial arts training, because they do it on the same day. So I'll be there for the entire time. So I'll be doing around 4 hours of solid training, which I'm going to be absolutely dead, but it should hopefully help my stamina for the fight. Then Thursdays will only be, usually it's 1 hour, but what I used to do, because it was grappling on Thursday, so you needed more floor space. So what I used to do was I'd say, look, if there's space, can I stay for both classes, so that I can just do it for both classes and get my stamina built up. And I used to do the 2 hours then. So it's going to be busy for me, because I mean the next fight, I think it's November time, end of November. I think
you said it was like end of year.
So it's going to literally be when my training starts 8 weeks before. It's going to be jiu-jitsu on Mondays, kickboxing and mixed martial arts on Tuesdays. Then it'll be the grapple training on Thursdays, and then I'll probably be looking to also do the boxing on Saturday mornings as well. So I'm going to be pretty much be doing, I think it's 2 hours for jiu-jitsu there, so that's 2 hours there. Then it'll be 3.5, 4 hours there, so that's basically 6 hours. And then 2 hours for the grappling, and then I think the boxing, it'd be 10 hours a week of combat training I'll be doing. So I'm either going to die or get ripped trying, so get ripped or die trying. It's my shit new album in a la 50 Cent style.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm probably not really showing myself off to be somebody who's into health. Like, I've kind of given up again. Like, I'm just gonna go to the gym and do what I can. I just kind of want to get rid of the belly, to be honest.
I think the thing is, like, there's very certain people where when it comes to like fitness and stuff, they just kind of gel into it, and I think it helps. I don't even think it's a mindset. Sometimes I think it's just the fucking food. Like, let's face it, if we was both to go, right, that's it, we're now going to go on 100%, everything's planned by someone else for us, for what we eat, what we do training wise and all that. The thing that would stop us wouldn't be probably the physical activity, it'd be the food.
It's the food. I just like shitty food too much. Like, this takeaway right now is just too good.
You can feel your stomach dying slowly.
And the thing is like, especially when you've been absolutely just sprinting, running, walking, shooting, strolling, going for a stroll into the enemy base. When you've been doing shit like that all day, like from about 9 o'clock ish up to midday, an hour's break, and then for the rest of the day until like 4 o'clock. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You're properly fucked because you've just not stopped.
I think the thing is,
especially how they ran it today, because they literally ran it first game straight into the next game. Then we braked. Then second game straight into the third, into the fourth, and then to the fifth and the sixth. You know, it's like you just don't stop.
Yeah, I think as well with that kind of thing, you don't realize how tired you are until you're done. Because you're non-stop, and I think it's the same with combat training. A lot of the time, you don't. It was like I watched a video recently. It was like a mixed martial arts fighter breaks down mixed martial arts scenes in films,
movies,
and it was I think it was The Warrior with Tom Hardy, which is a really, really good mixed martial arts film. They kind of go over the top with the drama at times, because at the end of the day, it's a fucking movie. What do you expect?
It's a movie.
But the techniques used, the combat styles used, the training regimes used is all pretty spot on for how a combat would be. But the one thing they do, which is like everyone's like, no, is the tournament they do is having people fighting on consecutive days, which you can't do. You can fight multiple times in one day as long as you've got the gas tank for it. The next day, you don't do fuck all. Because it's the next day where you feel everything that's happened to you. Because that was, like, people talk about, like, oh, what about when you're training and you check a kick and it hurts your shins? It's like, well, you don't feel it in the fight. You don't feel it in sparring or training. You feel it the next day. That's when you go,
it's like...
that stings.
You go, see, I've got, this is a fucking proper lump, this is now. I bashed my leg somewhere today. Didn't even realise I bashed it until I got in the car at the end of the day. I went, ooh, I've bashed my leg.
Yeah.
You just don't think about it.
It was, I think it was, I nearly got knocked out in sparring during the first training for the mixed martial arts fight. It was 1 week where I was basically, I wasn't feeling well at all. You know, when you just like, I feel wrong. My head feels a mess. My face feels a mess. I just feel off. But I still was going to training. It's like, I'm not missing training. I've got the fight coming up. I need to do the training. I feel like shit, but I'll just work through it. And I still ended up having to go into sparring, so I was really sluggish in sparring, and I ended up swaying into someone's hook. So I just got... But he was actually a good fighter. He was a really good fighter, he was. So he wasn't... You don't do full power. You're not meant to do full power in sparring, but there are people out there that fucking do, and it's annoying. But this guy didn't. But he still, because I swayed into it, it was like being punched at full power. And I just got sparked, and it was like... And they kind of just pulled me to one side. Look,
I sparked, yeah, bled.
Pretty much, but that was one of those things, in the like cartoons where you see stars? That fucking happens. That's real. You fucking see stars if you get flashed like that. You see stars, and I kind of just had to like step out of the sparring and then just go back to pad work because I just couldn't keep up because of how sluggish I was. But I know I've just seen in the chat, like, Jay's talked about how she's always wanted to do it, but she's too scared. If you pick the right place, there's nothing to be scared about, because a lot of the time everyone that's in there is there for the sole purpose of getting better. I'm not speaking for every place, because at the end of the day, there's always bad places. It doesn't matter what you're looking at. There's always going to be bad places. But it's worth just looking around your area. There's you wouldn't, and the thing is as well, like, a lot of these places, if you're looking
around, like, they're hidden away.
Yeah, if you look at like kickboxing classes or jiu-jitsu classes, a lot of the time you're not the only female. So you will have another female there to spar with. If you was looking at jiu-jitsu classes, there's usually another female there as well, and you just spar with them or any of the other females, but you will end up sparring with other males in jiu-jitsu, because unlike kickboxing, with jiu-jitsu, when you're sparring, you're not fighting, it's all grappling, so you can literally spar at the end of every session and have limited chance of hurting yourself because you're not punching each other. But the thing is, it's like when especially when you're training with jiu-jitsu, it's I know it can get awkward for females at times, because one of the main techniques is putting your weight on them, and if you've got a top position, a good position, you want to smother them with your chest, basically, because you want to make it uncomfortable.
He's all up in there, baby.
Well, it's like if we was, say, rolling, as they say in jiu-jitsu, if we was rolling, Ryan, and I got a mount position or a top position or something where you was below me, my chest would be straight away either pushing directly down on your chest to make you so you can't breathe, or directly in your face, pushing down to make that uncomfortable for you, so you do something where you put yourself out of position for me to then try and go for a submission. And it doesn't matter.
Take me out to dinner first, mate. Jesus. I've just noticed your fucking Five Guys bottle. Just look at where it is.
Yeah.
What?
It's in the in the mirror. Right. Look. There it is. There's my Five Guys. Right there.
I'm alright.
But yeah.
Don't worry, I'm just telling them I don't want any more Chinese. I don't want any more! Oh yeah, it's alright. Sort it out.
The thing with the you'd probably be better off if you didn't want to go into the jiu-jitsu. You'd probably be better off with kickboxing, because that way then you're not rubbing yourself up other people, which at the end of the day I understand can be awkward for certain people, but I think I've just got to the point where you don't care. You do it because you're training and you want to get better. So kickboxing would probably be the one I'd say going for. And a lot of the time when you do kickboxing classes, you're not going into sparring. You're just going in to do pad work, training, movement, head movement, fitness, and all that kind of stuff. You'd only go into, if you was doing kickboxing, you'd only go into sparring for kickboxing is if you was actively looking to get to become a good fighter. You wouldn't really do a lot of sparring otherwise. So, I mean, I'm of the mindset personally where I think everyone should go and learn some form of combat training. Not just because I like it, but because if you at least know how to punch, that's one tool you've got in a self-defense repertoire. Because I was reading something recently where pretty much everyone, the average person, will overestimate their fighting ability by 40,000%.
What? 40,000%?
40,000%.
What did it say on the scouter?
But that's what I remember reading. I can't remember where it was. But that's what people do, and that's why people get knocked the fuck out. Because they think they can fight. Everyone thinks they can fight. For some reason, you go and talk to some random dude or some random girl, and they think they can fight. They're like, oh yeah, I can punch a guy in the face. It's like, not that easy when you actually put it into practice.
Well, we'll never go if you think you're hard enough.
Well, it's like all it would be. I could literally get you. I'd put some gloves on you, and it would literally just be a hole. I'd have
kick the shit out of me. I'm not gonna pretend I'm a fighter. I'm a lover. I'm a lover.
This would be the thing. I wouldn't even fight back. I'd put gloves on you. I'd have the pads on my hands, and it would just be right. You've just got to try and hit me now, and I would just try and avoid you. And I'm not good at avoiding punches. I'm not. I'm sluggish. I'm slow.
Because you're a big bastard. Look at you. Fucking unit.
But you would still struggle to hit me square in the face in a way that would knock me out because you've never physically done it. And that's what... Go on, sorry, dude.
You're saying all this, but one of my nan's old friends, who's dead now, unfortunately, well, God bless her soul, we got her on Wii boxing. Nah, she looked like a fucking fighter. she was ducked. It's the fucking funniest shit I've ever seen. And she won. Obviously, it's we fighting shit, but with fucking boxing. And she's getting against the AI at one point. She's like, duck down. And she's just cutting your bollocks. And you say, how the fuck's going on? You can't get a hit in because she keeps fucking uppercutting, but like she's hooking it under, getting you in the dick, knocking your character out. You're there like trying to swing a few punches, you get like 1 or 2 hits, and she's like fucking rattling your bollocks. Like
she's using your bollocks as a speed bag.
Now that is a fighter.
God, I remember.
It's like, did you see? I don't know if I shared it to the. Let me share this video to the Discord.
Yeah,
it's this guy, and he's like all the like classes from D&D as an archer.
I've seen
using a bow.
I
he gets to the end,
saying I think I'd be the barbarian.
When he gets to the end and he's doing the bard,
and he's just doing. I love that one because he goes on the stripper pole, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's got some skill because he like flips out of the tree and fucking shooting arrows like Robin Hood and his merry men. The quiver he has is shit. Nobody actually uses thingy quivers in battle.
No,
it's a myth, a lie.
No, because they use a waist one because it's easier.
They use a waist quiver.
Yeah.
Well, you when you like if you get tripped over, all your fucking arrows aren't just gonna fall out like he fucking showed us when he's flipping about on the fucking pole.
Yeah. I think I still love that barbarian one though, because he has the bow. He just gets a handful of arrows, he throws them, and then runs at the target screaming.
He's like, I throw pointy stick.
Going quickly back to the combat sports thing, I need to get you to come to kickboxing at some point.
Yeah.
And then when jiu-jitsu's on, I need to get you to come to jiu-jitsu.
It's literally the last thing I'm thinking of now because I am bloated as hell.
Well, we just need to make sure you don't eat within an hour of training.
Yeah,
otherwise you will throw up.
Honestly, I feel so lethargic now. I'm just like, this is it, bedtime, boys.
Well, you had like 5 different things on that fucking plate.
That's the only way to eat Chinese, though. Like, I couldn't sit there and just get sweet and sour rice.
I'm not a fan of Chinese takeaway. I like Chinese in a restaurant, but not Chinese takeaway because I just find them so fucking greasy.
As isn't, mate. You need to try the one in Draco.
All Chinese takeaways are greasy just innately. Like, because Chinese food's greasy. It's oily.
This isn't that bad, I will tell you now. It really isn't that bad.
Yeah,
I want to change you. I'm going to turn you into a changed man with the Chinese in my hometown.
It's not going to happen. I promise you now.
Indian, don't get me wrong, Chinese isn't my favourite takeaway. But with it's local, it's easy.
Yeah.
Indian.
See, there's an Indian near me that I had, I think when I was watching the season finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and they ordered tikka masala, naan bread, poppadoms, and absolutely destroyed the lot of it.
Well, not last time, but the time before I went to Jay's, we had fucking curry, and I hadn't had a takeaway curry, like a proper takeaway curry, in like 2 years.
Yeah.
It was fucking mental. I was like, fucking takeaway curry? I've not had this in fucking ages. Like the poppadoms in the naan bread.
What year is it?
Honestly, poppadoms in naan bread from a takeaway.
So much better.
They're a completely different experience.
I love the size of the naan bread.
And the size of the poppadoms as well. They're a whole nother. They are a whole nother like plane of existence compared to shop bought naan bread or poppadoms.
100%.
No one can change my mind.
I think the thing I love...
And this is why I can't get a 6-pack. Poppadoms in naan breads, boys.
I still love when you get like the naan bread from like takeaways and stuff, because like it comes in a bag that looks like this. You go, just a normal sized naan bread, and then you get it out and it's fucking folded, and you fold it out and it's like it's been folded 8 times. It's like, this ain't a fucking naan bread, this is a fucking bed sheet.
This is a map. Oh yes, here's Scotland.
See, don't
printed on the back of my naan breads.
I don't go with any like fancy naan breads. I'm not.
Did you not?
I'm okay with them. Like, I understand why people like them, and if someone else is like offering me some of theirs, I'll go for it. But the thing is, I'll go as standard with a garlic naan bread because I use that shit to I just scoop up the whole thing.
What's your thoughts on mango chutney?
I'm not a fan of chutney, but I'm not a fan of jam either, and chutney's just basically a jam.
It's just the same thing. It's the same thing, yeah. Mango chutney's like that little bit of naan bread, a little bit of poppadom as well. Oh, love it! Absolutely fucking love it.
My deal
Jay introduced me to a naan bread when we went, and it was like a sugary naan bread, and I was like, I'm gonna hate this. It was
sweet and savoury.
It was like that. You know what it'd been really good for? Like a pudding afterwards, like just to munch on, just like a little snack out. It was Peshwari, that's the fucking name of it. Although she did have one where it got fucking sultanas in, and apparently that's how it's meant to be made. And fuck sultanas, okay? No. Fuck just sultanas. No. Fuck your Garibaldi's as well. Fucking have it. I can fight. As soon as you start talking to me about biscuits, I'll fucking show you a fight.
See, I think with me, when I have the curry, I'm the kind of person who's like, I'm going to eat the entire curry without a knife and fork because I'm literally going to use my naan bread and poppadoms and literally scoop the entire thing with those. My eating utensils is also what I'm going to eat.
Well, that's how they traditionally eat it.
Yeah.
Is they literally use like the naan bread and stuff to scoop, and it's, do you know what?
It is the superior way to eat curry.
This is like we all about like it being superior ways to eat, but this is just like a way of eating that's been there for so long. It's like the Cornish pasty.
I saw actually just
Pasty. Got your bar, and what you'd have had is you'd have had your savoury in one side and your sweet in the other, and the miners would hold the crust, eat the savoury side, eat the sweet side, then they'd bin the crust. Because obviously their hands would be covered in coal and muck and just shit. So it's like, we talk about, everyone always goes, I always find people going, it's such an amazing kind of like way to look at eating stuff. And I'm like, this is everything. It's like pizza, fucking Cornish pasties, curries. Most foods have got a way of being eaten with our hands because we didn't used to have knives and forks.
No, it's not most foods. It's foods of that nature. Things like Cornish pasties, pizzas, like you say, those kinds of things will have that because of the nature of how you'd be eating them. But like fucking baked beans wouldn't be fucking eaten with your hands. They would be fucking...
What do you order? Cold. No, it's like fucking DayZ.
Yeah.
And you're pinching them up though. You're pinching them. It's like, who?
He's eating them one bean at a time.
Who would eat fucking baked beans with your hands?
See, I don't understand why they just don't change the animation, so it's just him going... Because at the end of the day, whenever I go to KFC, I have beans as my side, because I'll dip my chicken into the beans.
The thing is, though, when you're eating the beans in thingy, it's cold, so they'd still be like slightly solid in the can. And it'd just be like this lump.
Just quickly going back to like the naan bread and shit. I remember a post that made me piss myself. I think it was back when like lockdown was first kicking in. You know, when like all the self-raising flour was on the shelves and all these other things just kind of disappeared from the shelves. And there was this post that someone made, some like middle class basic bitch white girl that blatantly drives a Fiat 500 and loves a pumpkin spice latte. She made this fucking post about like how she was really struggling to get self-raising flour to make her homemade bread, but she found out that even without self-raising flour, she could make this flatter style bread that was still really good for the fucking for the family. And someone retweeted it saying, "Wow. When the white woman only just now realizes flatbread is a thing." And it's just like, are you taking the piss? You can buy flatbread from fucking Tesco. What is wrong with you?
Open drawer. Oh, what have we found here? Ah, yes. The entire white female 20-year-old fucking
demographic
all in one.
Well, it's like there was all the fucking
Angel eyes! Look at this bread!
It was the I remember seeing another post taking the piss out of the basic white bitch. It was the it was just something like the queue for the car park outside Slug and Lettuce when the girls can go back out, with posts like finally back out with the girlies, and it's just a picture of the Fiat 500 car park waiting area, you know, where they make them all.
yeah, I know. I think I've seen that one as well. But the thing is, though, Slug and Lettuce is just a fucking middle class domain. It's like a middle class dungeon. Like, I've seen them, and I'm like, I hope I don't think I've ever like properly seen one IRL for some reason. Like, I've never been near
a basic white bitch or a Slug Lettuce.
No, a Slug and Lettuce. I don't know why I've ever been near one.
There's one in town. Anyway. There's one in town. You've probably walked past it.
Oh God, I might have to go have another wash. But it's like fucking white boys and white girls. Like, and don't get me wrong, obviously we're white gentlemen, but it's like, it's proper white boy. It's like the type of person like people would call cracker or something stupid. Like,
Yeah.
as much as that's true, it's like that type of person. Like, oh, mummy, daddy,
It's the
that my trust fund. Oh,
Did you ever see
my portfolio?
Did you see there was the guy that got turned into a meme who was in like a pink polo shirt and it's just him stood like this kind of thing? And it just got turned into a meme.
Do it to him.
Yeah,
I had to do it to him.
And they like squat him down as well, so it was like really like kind of like Putin wide squatted as well.
So that he's cut his torso off, didn't they? Flattened him.
It's just like those kinds of people. I mean, fair enough. Like I'm a white boy. I will say stupid white boy stuff at times, but I never want to be basic bitch white boy. At least I want to at least have kind of some expanded horizons.
Other than my father, who works in the finance department for HMRC, has got me a job.
I honestly really, really would love to actually like have a fight with someone like that, because
please just fucking annihilate them.
So funny. I was going back to fighting fucking out. I was watching this brilliant thing and it's taking the piss out of self-defense videos. Now, I say self-defense videos because most of these videos that you see will get you fucking hurt more. Because all these videos have like 10 steps you have to do to get them off of your shoulder, pull your weight down, stamp on their foot. And it's like, for one, stamping on a foot does nothing. 2, why are you trying to grapple them? Punch them in the face. And the entire video was basically just explaining, forget all these steps, punch them in the face. It's like the one they was basically mainly looking at was like if someone's got you what they would call the rape strangle, where basically someone's grabbed you by the throat, and it's like, why would you try and remove their hands from your throat? Because for one, when someone's choking you like this, unless they are incredibly strong, they can't knock you out in that way. Because even though you're going to struggle to breathe, you can still breathe, and they're not going to be strong enough to get, or know well enough most of the time, where the blood vessels are to knock you out in that way. But also, you know where both their hands are. So if both their hands are here, where are your hands going to be? Just punch them in the face.
Grab his dick and twist it!
Doesn't work a lot of the time. I will always be against that because all that does is it actually gives them a boost of adrenaline. It doesn't actually hurt people enough to stop them, but 90% of the population hasn't been punched in the face. So people react when you punch them in the face. So, self-defense.
Every time I've been kicked in the nuts, it's been a fucking bad experience.
This is the thing though. This is a different kind of experience. When you've been kicked in the nuts those times, that's not when you've been 100% well and truly, fully wanting to attack and hurt this person. It's a different thing. At the end of the day, we wear cups in combat training not because you don't want to get kicked in the nuts, it's more because you don't want it to stop you from training so much. But even when you get kicked there without it, if you are in that mindset for sparring, you just keep going. It doesn't do anything. The reason why it's in sports, it's mainly because people know it's against the rules to do low blows. So when someone does a low blow onto you, the same as how in football they do dives, in mixed martial arts and stuff, when they get a low blow, they will play it up because it means they can have a breather. They literally, if they get kicked in the nuts and they play it up, they can just go and have a breather and have 30 seconds to a minute of just getting fresh air into their lungs, ready to fight again, especially if they're on the losing end, which usually they are if they've been kicked in the nuts.
And then there's me. And I started blasting.
But yeah, like you've got Linus Tech tips. Here's context needed fight tips. Punch him in the face.
I would say grab his dick and twist it, but that's not going to work. So grab his dick and twist it, and then empty a mag into his chest, so he never get back up. Self-defense. Defend the rest of the people that fucker could attack.
No, just do it Yakuza style. They're rubber bullets. They haven't killed anyone.
Ooh. Spicy take. I
No,
like
I was talking to Matt about this at work because he'd been playing Yakuza, and I'm a big fan of the Yakuza series. And the developers are like 100% on the whole train set that Majima and Kiryu, the two of the biggest characters in this series, have never killed anyone. Even though we see them stab people, throw people off bridges, throw people off trucks, shoot them, and when they were asked about them shooting people, they literally, oh yeah, it's all rubber bullets. It's like, I haven't killed anyone. In the same way that
Can we just edit it like the fucking algebra around my head right there, just like
no, it's that it's that tune, just with you going, what?
What? Yeah, I got something in my head then, and I've completely forgotten it.
Good job.
I'm very tired, man. I'm very tired.
I'm literally, as soon as we finish this, I'm gonna be not editing it today. I'm gonna be editing it tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go lay back downstairs and continue playing Persona. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna have to. I think I might actually try and get everything off my fucking bed and just go straight to sleep. I'm fucking knackered. I'm honestly fucking knackered.
Just sleep with the rifles. It's fine.
Can I? No, my rifles are in their boxers. But this is. I will show everyone.
You can do the picture. It's like the Nirvana song. As my guitar gently sleeps, it'll be as my rifle gently sleeps. Helps if you put some lights on. Gee, why have you got so much shit on your bed?
That's all this shit from my airsoft stuff. I literally just like pulled it off.
So you carry all of that on you?
No, not the whole day. Fucking hell, gee, no. Definitely not. I'm not that strong. I do carry a fair bit of weight. I carry this. Oh shit, headphones.
What's he grabbing? Oh, is it plate carrier or is this bag?
This is a plate carrier. This is.
Have you got plates?
It's not real.
You got AR 500 steel.
I'm not fucking retarded, man.
You're also not in America, so you wouldn't need AR 500.
So I have this bad boy. Sometimes I'll have stuff in the smaller pouch, but I've got a.
Is the smaller pouch for snacks? Please tell me it's for snacks.
Sometimes I'll put snacks in there. Yeah. I'll be like, get me a tactical snack out of my bag. And then somebody will unzip this for me because I can't reach it for shit. Because this is all like one unit on me.
Yeah. I love the FOP.
Febreze.
I love the FOP patrol badge.
Patrol. We've got a waifu dynamics. We've got a. Do you know the way? The wave. It usually sits in my bag.
Are these all just Velcro patches?
Yeah, I fucking love Velcro patches, man. I'm a mess. I'm honestly a mess.
I know you're a mess. You didn't need to tell me that.
In here, I have my water bladder, so I'll have a carry more, and then that'll come up over my shoulder here.
Yeah,
and I'll just be able to. I'm fucking chugging that all day. It's awful.
I used to use things like that with mountain biking and stuff. They're honestly fucking lifesavers.
They're a godsend.
To be fair,
so then
I'm probably gonna end up having one of those just on a bag in general because they're just easy to fill with water and use.
So I have two of these grenades, reusable ones. They're
Are they just spring loaded or something?
So they're basically spring loaded, like. Let me make sure I've taken the primer out of this.
Just ends the stream. Ryan cuts off.
So this is what they fire.
Just explain what it is.
It's basically a blank. It's just a blank. Little primer though. Sits off a decent bang, but that's in here. It sits in the top of this, and there's a little exit hole.
Yeah.
Exhaust hole where that'll spark at the top. It's not anything like you don't want to put your finger on the top of it because that fucker will hurt. It'll burn you. But it's literally just so it doesn't just blow up the grenade, basically.
Yeah.
So then this is a timed one. So I pull that, I've let go of the what's it called, and then you'll hear it ping like it just did then. What happens is there's a pin in there which you push down, pin it in to hold it in, then you lock it, drop, throw it. Roll it most of the time under thing. It'll roll, and then it'll ping off, hit the primer, bang, causing a bang. people in the distance, in that area, will go, hey, trundle off back to base or stand there.
Is it just based off, I was next to it, so I was hit?
I was within this amount of distance of this grenade when it banged. I've got to be honourable and take that.
Yeah,
you get people who don't. A lot of people, everywhere, everything.
That was the same because I had a paint grenade when I did the paintballing, and there was one bit we had. It was just this weird like pyramid where basically it was a pyramid type thing. I've heard of this pyramid place. I've never been. It was It was a cross section like that in it, and then the objective was on a pedestal in the middle of it. And I got the perfect throw where I was at one of the entryways. I threw my grenade all the way through, and it landed literally just outside the door, the other side, and blew up, and got paint on the two guys at the door, and neither of them walked away. And it was like, dudes, come on, really? Like, fucking honor rules? Like,
there's ones you can get where they fire a load of BBs out. Waste of fucking time. Honestly, waste of time.
Yeah.
You then also have paper pyro. Twist, take that off.
Go on then, twist it.
No, I can twist that off, that's fine. But then I've fucking got that, I need to like make sure like I keep it all together. Then you literally, it's like strike, yeet it. However, like with this you can throw it however you like. This one you've got to be a little bit thingy because it's metal core, plastic on the outside. You're gonna fucking knock someone out if you're overarming that fucker. This you can throw however you like. This you can throw however you like, so it's not a problem.
Would that be considered a bang death grenade, or is it a smoke grenade?
This is a bang grenade. I've got smoke grenades, but these are all bang grenades. These are. So this is literally just like a little firework that just goes bang.
Yeah, I
carry those. I sometimes put those in that little patch here as well.
Yeah. Well, I've decided I really want to make some smoke grenades because I know how to make them. It's just actually doing it, and I've been wanting to make one for quite some time now. But you can literally just use like, the cores of like toilet tissue. You can use that to hold it, put something in the bottom, and it's sugar and another ingredient. I can't remember what it is. And basically what you do is you just have you get a frying pan, have it rip roaring hot, put all the sugar and this other ingredient in, just keep mixing it, and eventually it turns into this weird like peanut butter paste. And you can then just pour that into whatever you've got to hold it, put a fuse in it. There you go, you've got a smoke grenade. Because the sugar...
I'd like to try that.
Well,
I'd like to see what that does.
It's very, very easy to do. From what I've seen, it's just time consuming. So I'm definitely up for doing it if you want to do it at some point. We just need to figure out what we used for the fuse, because you need something to be a decent fuse.
Just buy a proper fuse.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's
not on a list anywhere. Just buy some proper fuse.
We'll need to have a sacrificial frying pan as well, because
oh yeah,
I'm not using one that I use for my actual food.
No. Yeah, just quickly, so we're not. What's that in there? Oh, it's the bottom of the thingy. So we're not like running over. I'd then carry 2 pistol mags here, usually in here, but I didn't run my pistol today. 6 mags there, full. I usually use high caps because I like to shoot a lot. So this is like the poured BBs in. It's not like a thingy. I've got 5 normal high cap mags, 2 mid caps, which you just like load BBs in. I've then you've got dump pouch, where you just, if you've used a magazine, I'll just dump it in here, so then I don't lose it. I'm not putting it back in here where I'm wanting to pick my new mags out of.
Yeah.
I'll usually put, like, if I've got any fucking like spare batteries or anything, they'll go in this little top admin pouch with the pantsuit patch, ASG patch, and first and only patch. That's about it, really. But once you've got it all on and it's all full, and like you just fucking, it's just lugging a dead weight, and then there's like a decent weight to the actual pack.
You need to weigh that. You need to weigh it.
Yeah. Then I put the sling on it, and the sling then has my gun on that, and the gun's another couple of kilos because it's full metal.
You need to get everything loaded to bear on there, and then just weigh it. Just use one of those like luggage weighers.
The luggage weighers, yeah.
And just find out how much it is that you're lugging around all day.
I might actually do that because
It'd be worth to know, because at the end of the day, there's a reason why there's weighted clothing and weighted vests for training.
It's me training like Goku.
What, like my
Your Goku slippers.
my Goku slippers?
Are they weighted Goku slippers though? Is there like fucking?
These are about 5 kilograms each. No, they're fucking not. I've genuinely been looking at things like weighted, like wrist weights, like wrist weights and weighted vests and things for like your legs and stuff. Because I want to have weighted stuff when I'm training, because it's you may be slow when you're weighted down, but then obviously when you remove the weights, you're a lot quicker, and that's something I want to work on as well. So
give me that fucking Rock Lee or whatever his name is.
Rock Lee, where he just goes.
So you got a few measly weights. That's what I use. So what I'll do is I'll get this on that grenade. I've got this. I've got the pin out in theory. Put that in. Push it down, which is quite a bit of force. Push it down. Put my pin in, and then put me round in there and stuff. And then I've got this nice little pouch that was made for me by Juliet Combat Ready Airsoft, which is very nice. It's got a little. She dual lined this one for me, because everyone else just had it like one layer and then with the loop in it. But she did this one, so she like did like an inner layer, so it's nicer. And I was like, quality that is.
All right, show off.
This is, if you're gonna call anything middle class, this is a perfect.
Like I say, you keep saying you're not fucking middle class, but I mean, I don't know about you guys.
Honestly. I don't
This
know how
guy
much money I
sounds very
gave
middle
for this.
class.
She sells them for like a couple of quid. If anybody ever plays at Combat Ready Airsoft, I don't play there anymore or do anything there anymore. But if you ever are and you do have a thingy grenade, fucking get one of these off Julie. They're fucking mint, really nice. And if she's feeling kind of, ask her if she can do one with the inner lining, because this is
ask if you can do one with the inner lining, so you can be middle class just like Ryan.
Yes, exactly. Middle class when you're shooting people and throwing grenades at them.
Oh, that's definitely a middle class pastime, isn't it?
Well, we were going pretty old school. When we were going for a stroll, we were going pretty old school British Empire.
But I say,
we're like, hand over your tradable items.
You don't hear about the fucking working class talking about airsoft because they can't afford the 120 quid bloody entry fee of a gun.
No. I actually tell you what, there's a lot of working class blokes at airsoft. A lot of working class people.
Yeah, working class blokes. I'm on about younger working class dudes.
Oh yeah, younger working class blokes. Like, yeah. There's a lot of older blokes as well, because they've worked their way through. They've earned it. I think anybody who plays airsoft and enjoys it has most likely earned it, unless you're a little 16-year-old scrote, then you can fuck off. Look, I could turn my Glock sideways and shoot him. Sit down and do not ever come back here.
Try and aim next time, you might actually hit them.
It fucking does me. There's some kids who come in, like, fair enough. They're allowed to be there, but some of them shouldn't be in it. They're just there to like be cool. And, like,
that's what happens in a lot of places, though. At the end of the day, it will always be that way. There'll always be the people that have gone to these kinds of things, not because they actually want to do it, because they think it's cool. It's people. I mean,
well, thinking airsoft is cool, but it's like it's usually a thing of, oh, look at me, I'm holding a gun.
Yeah,
it's like, no, you're holding a fucking replica. It's a toy.
It's the same with combat sports, though, and that's why a lot of gyms, they'll do the first lesson free. You'll be able to go the first time for free to see if you're into it, because a lot of people, they'll go the first time, they'll realise they're fucking knackered by the end of it, and they're actually shit at punching, and then they won't go again. And like I've spoken to, because obviously you get closer to the trainers the more you go to these places. Spoken to a lot of them, and they literally say you can see who's going to bow out as soon as they start. You can tell straight away, and it's the same with the fight, the charity fight. You start sparring, I think, either the 3rd week or the 4th week in, and as soon as you start sparring, 40% of people drop out because they realise getting punched in the face isn't fun. Which it isn't.
just before we finish off, can you please look at the post that Jay's just put in the dark zone?
Well, I can't actually, sorry. I can look on my phone quickly.
Quickly. I think we need to just have a little comment about this one.
Because I just realised what page I was on last.
Sorry, what?
I've seen that mod. Yes, I've seen that mod. Yeah.
It's fucking gold.
It's the big mummy from the new Resident Evil, but with like a weird Thomas the Tank Engine looking face. Yeah, we're gonna close up for the day. It's been a bit of a general chat just to relax. We're both knackered anyway, so
I'm ready for bed now. I am probably ready for bed.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna chill on Persona and try and get the new character for Persona 5 Royal to love me because she calls me senpai and she's a gymnast.
Pervert, absolute pervert. Worse than me sometimes, I swear.
Bruh. So, just briefly, actually, before we do finish, I found a post, which is just a character saying, what was it? It was something along the lines of, not gonna lie, but the amount of kinks you have is pretty damn cringe. And I instantly shared it to Ryan, basically saying, Ryan, why the fuck does this remind me of you? And he's for anyone listening to the podcast, he's just slowly slinked out of his camera shot so he can't get atted like this.
Just hidden behind my name.
with his training knife. Well, either way, we're going to close off for the night. We'll be back again next week. If you guys want to send us any memes, any shitposts, any funny things, he's there now. You're there for life now. I'm not helping. You can send us that.
It's going to give out.
You can send us those kinds of things at Context Needed One. Shut up! I'm trying to plug the Twitter. Damn it. At Context Needed One for any memes and shitposts. For any official correspondence, like telling me about your portfolio, you can send us an email, in which time we'll give you...
I actually told them what the portfolio is.
Oh, we don't need to. They don't need to know the portfolio. It's fine. Don't question it. It's going to just become inside jokes, the podcast, let's face it. But yeah, so if you want to send something our way, like email-wise, you email us, and what we'll do is we'll give you very specific instructions that have to be followed to a T in order for you to physically send us correspondence. There's a lot of official rules in there. There's a typewriter that needs to be used, has to be sent via bird of prey. There's a lot of instructions, don't worry.
Yeah, you've got to smoke at least 50 cigarettes or cigars.
There has to be an ambiance to the letter, basically.
Yeah. You've got to really put some fucking effort in.
But if you want to send us that, you email us and we will give you an itinerary of things you have to do in order to send us that. But if you want to follow me on Twitter and see stupid posts like my dog and when I'm going to be going live on Twitch later, you can follow me at IKTOasis. What about you, Ryan?
I'm sorry, can we just talk about the fact that fucking Kieran just put "I'd still hit it" to that fucking face?
Did he?
Yeah, he's like, "I'd still hit that." I'm like, what the fuck? You can catch me at Corrupt Photo, where I repost an extortionate amount of Pokemon based fan art, which makes me feel happy and like I'm still a child and I'm not currently losing my mind working in IT.
And then you sometimes send me things of a Pokemon hotel in Japan and making me question my holiday companion choices.
Hey, that looked like a pretty cool fucking hotel to me.
Fucking didn't to me.
Hey, if I can find one of those Gengar, did you see the rollout tongue bed thing for the office? It was so bizarre. It's like I don't know who comes up with this. It's a fucking nut has just sat there like, well, we're all Japanese and we know somebody's gonna buy this shit. I mean, this fucking Gengar thing and you just roll its tongue out as like a bed. It's like a sleep mat. And you stick your head in his mouth.
That sounds like fucking hell to me.
Well, you probably won't fit on it, to be honest.
No.
But yeah, you can hit me at you can hit me up at Crook Photo.
And then next,
I think I've got my Insta linked on there. Or
I think you do, yeah. But
yeah,
it will most likely be next year when we do if all goes to plan with no more lockdowns and shit. Our Twitters will just be absolute full of pictures of us being idiots in Japan. Probably lots of food. Probably lots of anime titties. a lot of gunpla.
There will be a lot of anime titty, and there will be a lot of gunpla.
But anyway, we're gonna close off for the day. So for everyone that's been listening or watching today, thank you very much for listening and watching today. Anyone listening or watching in the future, thank you very much, and we will see you guys later.
Bye bye. Have a lovely time, baby.